Hello dear friends, this is Dr. Diptesh Patel and I'll be teaching you Advanced Internal Combustion Engine. In today's video session, we are going to see a chapter called Recent Development in IC Engine, in which we are going to see the different new innovations that is coming through in the IC engine and how does those innovation affecting the conventional engine and our everyday life. So particular for this video session, we are going to see a couple of different types of the engine. First one is a lean burn engine and the second one is hybrid engine. So let's start with the lean burn engine. What is a lean burn engine? Like basically the in conventional IC engine, fuel burns at the mixture of approximately 14 to 17 gem 1 air fuel ratio. But lean burn engine is a kind of one which is ignited, which consume a very less amount of fuels, and the mixture is very lean and it can go up to as low as 32 gem 1. So like how does that work? Basically in lean burn engine, the air fuel mixture is mixed before it enter into the combustion chamber with these special modifications, right? And we use a special kind of the modification such as the turbocharger to mix the air fuel before it enters into the combustion chamber. So basically natural or conventional IC engine, we knows that air fuel mixture is enters inside the engine and the spark plug would start the combustion. But in lean burn engine, the overall combustion process is improved by pre-mixing the air fuel mixture effectively with the turbocharger before it enters into the engine, before it enter into the cylinder or combustion chamber. So the mixture would be a more homogeneous inside the combustion chamber because we have definitely used the proper amount of the swirls, special swirl control valves to mix the air fuel mixture before it enter into the combustion chamber, and therefore the tendency of knocking and detonation would be reduces. Furthermore, the air fuel mixture is constantly monitored with the help of the special equipments that make sure that the air fuel mixture would be very lean as compared to the conventional IC engine. Now here we are going to see a diagram, like how does this work of the lean burn engine. As you can see, at intake manifold, air is taken from the atmosphere through the filter. When it enter into the manifold, the fuel is injected into the intake manifold. Now here the proper amount of the swirls are created to mix the air fuel properly before it enters into the engine. We know that when fuel is injected into the air, it is atomized first and then it gets vaporized to have the proper mixture. So here that would be done before it enter into the combustion chamber, into the intake manifold, and the swirl, it means kind of turbulence would be created into the intake manifold, which would does the homogeneous mixture of the air and fuels. So you can see that the injectors is attached into the intake manifold where air fuel mixture could be created, and then after the swirl control valves is installed which control the swirls of the air fuel mixture, and afterward it enter into the combustion chamber through the intake valve. So this is how the lean burn engine mixes the air fuels in such a way that the combustion would have proper amount of the oxygen, adequate amount of the oxygens, and therefore the overall emissions would also be reduced. However, there is one problem, one demerits of the lean burn engine is that the emission of NOx is enhanced because the combustion temperature is very high, and therefore we require the special amount of the complex catalytic converter to reduce the NOx emissions. So this is only a drawback of the lean burn engine, in which the NOx emission is higher as compared to the conventional engine. However, the others emissions such as HC, particulates matter, smoke and CO are reduced greatly as compared to the traditional IC engine. Now let's go through the advantages and disadvantages of the lean burn engine. So first thing is advantages. Now combustion process is more efficient because we know that in lean mixture there is a greater amount of the air available for the combustion. That means it would have the excess availability of the oxygens, and therefore the combustion would be close to complete. Then it produces more power from the same amount of fuels. So it saves the fuel consumption, it reduces the fuel consumptions. And lean burn engine can operate on the wide range of the fuels. So this is also advantages of the lean burn engine. Now let's go through the disadvantages. As I said earlier, the NOx emission is very high in lean burn engine, and therefore required the complex catalytic converter to control the NOx emission. So yeah, this is all about the lean burn engine. Now next topic is a hybrid engine. Now we have heard this word so many times because hybrid engines are becoming a more and more popular nowadays, since we know that the fuel price has gone up. Also the government and authority concern is a environmental pollutions. As you can see, like the many of our mega cities are into the high risk of the air quality because their air quality is very poor, and therefore governments, authorities and even people, those who are aware about it, are taking a special care to reduce the emissions from the automobile, because automobile is a major part of the emissions that is being emitted into the atmospheres, and their percentage is about 20 to 30%. So it's a greater extent of the emission that is coming out from the automobile vehicles, and therefore peoples are trying to find the alternative waves. Even authorities trying to authorize the new trends of the vehicles which is reducing the emissions, and hybrid emission is one of them. Okay, so hybrid is a kind of engine which can operate on two different power sources. That could be either manual or petrol, that could be either petrol electric, that could be either diesel electric or even hybrid electric. So any engine that can be operated with the two or more source of power, it is known as the hybrid engine. Nowadays many car manufacturer industries have come up with the different range of the hybrid engines which would gives the good amount of efficiency, and their emission is also lower, so people are attracted toward it. The only problems that people facing at the moment is a higher initial cost, because in hybrid engine we have the different types of the arrangement. We require the high amount to be for the manufacturing of the vehicles, and therefore their capital cost is high. We are going to see what are the different components into the hybrid engine and how does that affects our life. So let's go through the hybrid engine. Now we know that hybrid engine can run on the two different source of power, that could be different range of the power sources. So like let's consider the gasoline engine, hybrid gasoline engine, in which it runs on electric motor and the engine. So basically the main components are the engine, then generator, then rechargeable battery and the power shifter. Okay, so basically these are the major component of the hybrid engine. The battery would provide the power in certain situations to the vehicle, while during the cruising or during the time, like such as the initial pickup time when the engine required the larger amount, sorry, the vehicle required the larger amount of power, then at that time engine would provide the power. Battery also get charge during the deaccelerations and braking of the vehicles. So that is been done with the help of alternator, in which the kinetic energy of the vehicles, like especially when we are deaccelerating or braking the vehicle, we do not require the momentum that vehicle have, we are trying to reduce that momentum. So that kinetic energy, that momentum would be converted into the electric energy, because it's a waste that is coming going through the waste, and in fact it would improve the braking efficiency of the vehicles. So the rechargeable battery can also be charged during the deceleration and braking of the vehicles. Now these batteries would help efficiently to reduce the consumptions of the fossil fuel and the emissions which is emitted into the atmosphere. So basically, as you can see, the vehicle is like, in certain cases it operates with the help of the IC engine, while in certain cases it operates on the battery. Let me give you an example. For example, if vehicle is stopping on the electric signal, then at that time engine would get turned off. While the green light occurs, vehicle would start moving with the help of electric power, and then after, engine will provide the additional power, especially during the pickup. So overall, the fuel that get wasted while it is in ideal situations in the engine can be reduced here. So like the fuel mileage is greatly improved in hybrid engine. Now you can see the diagram of the hybrid engine, which is having the major component such as the electric motor, generator, battery, IC engine and power split device. So as you can see, battery is connected through the electric motor, and that provides the power to the front wheel drive, front wheel if it is a front wheel drive. Similarly, IC engine is also connected with the power split devices into the common shaft. So as you can see, generator, IC engine, electric motor and power split device is connected into the common shaft. Now generator would recharge the battery, especially during the deceleration and braking. So as you can see, two different line that is connected with the battery, one with the generator, another with the electric motor. So generator would recharge the battery, while electric motor will consume the power from the battery. IC engine would provide the power as well, which is connected into the common shaft, while power split device is split the power, right? It takes power either from the IC engine or the electric motor, depends on the driving conditions. So power split device would split the power, and that would deliver these power to the front wheel. So this is how the hybrid engine looks like. This is a schematic diagram of the hybrid engines. Now let's go through the advantages of the hybrid engine. The first advantage is that it saves the great amount of fuels because of the assistance from the battery. So the overall fuel consumptions can greatly reduce. Second, less emission. As you can see, the fuel consumption is reduced, the emission is also reduced, and then the overall emission is greatly in a smaller quantity as compared to the conventional IC engine. And these battery do not need to recharge at every instant. It can get recharged by itself, especially during the deaccelerations, especially when the vehicle is slowing down. All the momentum, all the kinetic energy that vehicle would have, that can be converted into the electric energy, and that energy is stored into the battery. So it does not need to charge at every extent, right? It also get charged with the help of deceleration and braking. Now these are the disadvantages of the hybrid engine, and the first disadvantage is a high initial cost. The cost of the lithium battery is very high at the moment, so therefore the overall capital cost of the vehicle would be high. Even it required the generator and power split device and the battery and the special connections, special equipments in between, which connects the all equipments. And it one more thing it requires is a electric motor. So therefore the number of components is higher as compared to the conventional engine, and therefore its initial cost is high. And the second one, higher weight. As you can see, the number of components are higher, its weight would also increased. So these are the disadvantages of the hybrid engine, especially considering the battery, because the batteries are very expensive and it need to be replaced, it need to be recharged at frequently. So therefore the cost of the battery is also going high as well. So these are the disadvantages of the hybrid engines. This is end of this video session. If you have any doubt, you can write down in the comment box. Thank you very much.